What's up? This is Bryan from Before Dishonor, and you're watching PitCam.
Wanna hear one more song?
Hi, I'm Alesana from PitCam, and we're sitting here today with Bryan from Before Dishonor.
Hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, if you could play only one album at every concert, which one would you pick?
From our albums?
Yeah, and why?
I would say the new one, Better Ways to Die, because it's my favorite album.
Are you the most satisfied with it?
Yeah, I think overall, like, we got to, like, do everything we wanted to finally on CD, and I think it came out and it displays Death Before Dishonor the best, like every aspect. You know, there's a little bit of punk, a little metal, it's still a hardcore record, but that's where we come from, a little influence of everything, and it's the best overall showing of Death Before Dishonor.
Do you listen to your own music, like, when...
Not always, like the new record, I mean, it's hard to, I mean, you like...
Because you play it every
You play it all the time, but the new record I'm really, like, excited about. I mean, it's not that new at this point, but the newest record, you know, every now and again I'll put it in, I'll be like, oh, I like it, you know, which obviously I like it, but like, I'm really excited about the sound, the songs and everything. So once in a while, yeah, we'll throw it in and just enjoy it. You know?
So you're from Boston,
Yep.
and there's like a huge hardcore scene there, we all know that.
Yep.
Did that influence you to make like a hardcore band, or did you...
Well, I mean,
did you first go into that music direction and thought, yeah, I'm gonna do a hardcore band?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was into all different types of music, and the first time I went to a hardcore show in Boston, I was like, wow, this is different. Like, it's heavy music, and the bands are hanging out. Like, you know what I mean? The bands would be hanging out in the crowd. They're not just like rock stars and enjoying other bands. Like, I really like the atmosphere, even though I didn't know anybody, and it was crazy. I felt a part of it. So, yeah, I guess Boston hardcore helped me like start a band, because there's a lot of bands from Boston that just watching what they do and the environment I was in made me want to start my own band.
You're on tour like often, sometimes for a month or longer.
Yep.
Do you have contact then with the band when you're off tour? Like, do you guys, because you're so long together, like, do you also then, when you're not on tour, stay together too?
Yeah, because I mean, we all, like, as much as we're on tour a lot and we're home, we still go to shows and see each other at shows. Or, I mean, we're all still good friends. We still talk all the time, you know. I mean, obviously when you get home from a long tour, you want a little break, but at the same time, it's like, we're still your friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you do constantly have a contact. Like, I mean, if you're on like a 2-month tour and you get home the next day, you're not gonna call them up and hang out, but you're still friends. And that's very important, you know?
Is there anybody in the band that does something that just gets on your nerves, or that gets on the whole band's nerves?
Everybody does. We all do it to each other.
Yeah, on purpose?
Well, no, I mean, you got 5 guys in a van for, you know, months on end. You know, it's like living with 5 people. It's like the real world or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in a van, and everybody they have their own personalities, no matter what. Everybody.
So there's
you know,
not one person where everybody's like, oh, he's doing that again.
Everybody does it to each other. I do it to them. They do it to me. He does it to me. You know, everybody has their own personality. I mean, we get along great, but there's some days you just hate each other, just because you got to wake up in very tight confinements with the same people. But you love each other, so that's what's more important. I mean, some days that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm acting like a baby, so, you know, whatever. No one wants to talk to me, but hey, that's what I get.
Is there one show that you guys haven't, like one place that you guys haven't toured yet that you want to go to?
We haven't been to South America, and we're about to go there with the Cro-Mags in June, so I'm pretty excited about that.
And when you get back home, how much time do you have before you go back on tour?
1 day.
1 day?
On this, we have 1 day off, and I don't even go home. My drummer lives in South Carolina. We go to his house. We have 1 day off. And then we have to drive to Texas and we start a tour, and we're out till April 23rd.
Wow. Okay, so when you're longer at home, what's the first thing you do when you get home?
Sleep, watch TV.
Just chill?
Yeah. Watch TV, sleep, lay in my bed, go to Dunkin' Donuts.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you on tour? That you just do, one thing that you always remember, somebody asked you in the interview.
There's a lot. Yeah. I don't know, like, tour is so crazy that so much crazy stuff happens just because, like, one time I was driving down the highway. We were going to California for the first time with Agnostic front, and the whole wheel fell off our van. I was going down a mountain, going like 80, and the whole wheel, not the top, the rim, everything just went flying off. Sparks everywhere. We had a leak in our gas tank right where the tire was. And I had to stop the van from flipping over, which it didn't, thank God. That sucked a lot. Thought we were gonna die.
And no one knows what happened? The car just kind of broke down completely?
I guess there was too much weight and it cut off the lug nuts and the tire just fell off in the middle of the highway. That was pretty crazy.
Do you plan to do this your whole life, or do you maybe want to at one point do something else? Like, have you ever thought about doing anything?
Obviously, like I'm gonna be 32 this year, and you're always like, oh, I'm getting older, but this is what I love to do. You know, it's like, it's hard to explain. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I love doing what I do. I love seeing the world. You know, we're not getting rich, but at the same time, I get to play in front of different kids every night. I get to go see things and like do what I love and play what I love. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe someday I should think about buying a house or something, but I don't know. My heart's here, and that's where it'll probably be for a long time. But I'm also kind of crazy, so what do you expect?
What country would you say has had the craziest fans so far? Where they just went completely apeshit or something?
Germany.
Yeah,
and
Germany?
That's not because I'm in Germany. Like, I swear, every time, like, Europe's always the best for us, but Germany specifically, all the shows for some reason are always great. From, like, we'll play small villages, and they're still great. And I don't mean like thousands. I mean, you know, a couple hundred kids come out, and it's just always fun. Like, I feel like I can always count on Germany. Like, the States are great, but it's like there's so many bands that, like, sometimes it's so great, and then sometimes it sucks. And I feel like Germany's always consistent. And we've been to Germany enough times where I can say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we've come to Europe a lot, but we play so many shows in Germany that, like, I know I can count on Germany. So I will say Germany, not just because I'm here.
So when you're at home, what kind of TV shows do you watch? Like, do you have any favorite animated shows like Simpsons, Futurama?
Animated Family Guy is probably my favorite TV show. It's crazy, it's funny. Simpsons I like, I mean, it's been on forever. Futurama, I'm not a big fan, but I would say Family Guy is probably my favorite. I like South Park too, it's pretty fun.
And we're coming to the last question.
Okay.
If you could, like, make your own movie, who would you want to pick to play you? Like, what actress would you... Actor. He doesn't have to look like you.
Right.
Just someone where you're like, I want him to play me.
I don't know, who's a good actor? I mean, like, Robert De Niro is probably the best actor in the world. I mean, I love him to death. So I guess, hey, if he can play me, even though I'm Irish and he's Italian. I mean, I don't know. I will say that just because that's what comes to my mind.
Okay. And the last words go to you.
Well, thank you for checking us out again. It's the last time we're in Berlin. Hopefully tonight will be just as good. And thank you.
Before Dishonor.